Hey! Hello there! It's the first time I actually thought it would be nice perhaps to do a video in English. I don't know yet because I wanted to change a little bit the way I made videos. I'm telling you straight away, I don't think I'm going to do this for all the videos because I'd rather be behind the camera than in front of the camera. But I thought it would be nice to make a lively, really direct version of me talking and not always having to do a voice over the French versions of the tutorials. So here we go. Today I want to introduce the subject I'm going to be talking about. So basically I have this this stone. I hope you will be able to see it properly. So the thing is, it has already been drilled, but it's not really well drilled, and I'm having trouble to put in my jump ring in it. And so I thought, why not make a video to show you an easy kind of safe way, well, quote-unquote safe, because I'm going to talk about it more in the video, but basically the most basic and simplest way to be able to make the hole a little bit larger if you have troubles like me with a stone with a not well done drilled thingy. And I also thought it would be the perfect opportunity to show you how we can make our own jump rings, like thicker ones, to be able to use them for those types of works. It's a simple way to do this, so I thought it was worth sharing. So like I say, I think I will be way better, more comfortable on the other side, like behind the camera, and I will try to record this one for the first time talking in English and not a voiceover like I was saying, like me translating it, because I think it's more spontaneous and I guess more pleasable, more like to hear. I don't know about that though, because I can't do this for other things. But yeah, first try me talking in English in front of the camera. I hope you understand when I talk, and I'll see you around, but on the other side. Hey, so like I said, I'm going to try to do it in English straight away and not by talking over the French version of it. So this time I'm going to make it a little bit shorter because there's a lot of videos out there, I know, in the kind of jewelry community, in the like English-speaking jewelry community, but I thought that this little trick could be useful for people. So I'm going to focus more on how to enlarge the size of a pre-drilled hole in a stone, because I got this stone. The problem was it was drilled, but it wasn't drilled properly, and the diameter, the inside diameter, wasn't big enough, and it was a bit curvy inside, so I couldn't make my jump ring go through. And I thought I was going to share with you now the best and I guess safest way I find to be able to like enlarge the hole without making too much damage or without using, you know, really fancy tools. So for that you have two options. I have a set of, I bought, I think on Rio. I'll put the links of the tools I'm talking about, if I can, in the description box below. But I used this, I purchased this, actually it was a lot of small mini files that are actually in a good metal, like really good quality. They are great for all the small works that making, you know, cleaning up details that cannot be done with the bigger normal files, like the usual traditional big ones. And so this is great, but for this instance, for this specific thing, because it's a stone and it's a bit more fragile, I've tried the many tools, and this seems to be so far the best. It's diamond files. So there's a quote, diamond quote. It's quoted on it. I don't know exactly what it is, but it has a really smooth touch, and it's less like abrasive than the other ones I've shown you, the other one I've showed. And it's great because the only really annoying thing with this is that they get really worn out faster and you have to throw them away, so it's not really ecological and sustainable too, but they are by far the best for working with stones and enlarging holes, for instance. So right now I was lazy, but I would advise you, especially if you start, to do this in a little plate of water and doing the whole process while having the stone and a part of the file into water, like immersed in water, because the water will help the process and make it also way smoother in a way. And that's also the way you do it when you want to drill holes in stones without having a pre-hole. You have to be immersed in water. So that's something. And for fresh pearls, water pearls too, it's the same. But right now we're going to do it the lazy way. I'm not going to actually do it properly because I've already made my hole. I don't want to make it even larger, but there's also a detail for those types of work. Here I know there's an inclusion. I can see it here right where I want to put my bell ring. So I don't know how you say bailoring. I don't think that's the proper word, but you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna fake it, like I'm not gonna really do it, but what you want to do is put it really nice and easy, because I know that there's an inclusion right there. I'm not gonna go crazy because we don't want to break the stones, do we? And I'm gonna go clockwise and slowly enlarge the stone. And as soon as it starts to get stuck, you take it out and you go again, and you do it on both sides, and you should be done in no amount of time. You can go really fast and really do great work with those little files. So now, because I was also mentioning, because as we move along in the jewelry making and as you know, improve your skills and stuff, you completely forget how tough was the beginning. And I know that when I started being able to close a jump ring seemed like a really impossible mission, you know, so I thought it was, you know, it would be nice also to be able to go back to the basics and show you how this is done for people that might be new to jewelry making. So first of all, I'm going to put it nice and easy in the thing. And then to show you just the movement, because it's something that's fairly easy when you get the practice. But what you have to keep in mind is that we want the metal to kind of stretch enough and to have enough tension in the metal to be able to have both ends that actually do meet each other and stay in place. The thing is, I'm not going to be talking on how to make jump rings. I will make a complete separate video because it's going to be a long one, I think, because I'm going to show you the different methods I've been trying to make jump rings. For this, I'm using a 1.2 millimeter thick sterling silver wire, round wire. And I found that it's the perfect size for such a big cabochon, you know, to be able to have something that will be strong enough, sturdy enough, and yet pretty delicate and discreet when it's worn on the chain. For this I used the ball chain because I thought it was really nice. So yeah, I liked it. It was aesthetically pleasing. I have a problem saying this word sometimes. There are words I cannot pronounce. So basically, yeah, and to go back to the subject, I will make another video in the future about how to make your own jump rings. I made this one myself and the other one too on the end, but I'm not going to show you this because the process is the same, you know. But basically, I would say that for all the kind of detailed, every kind of small stuff like that, like to end chains and stuff, I would go for a wire to make jump rings that are at least 0.9 millimeters thick, because below that it's not going to be as sturdy. And for this one, it's 1.20 millimeter thick because I want something extremely strong and sturdy, because the stone is quite heavy actually. So to go back to the method, to do so, if you really desperate need to be able to make a jump ring, the simplest way would be to use those kind of pliers that are round shaped all around on both sides. But these are really kind of slow in diameter, so slow, I mean, that's it, I can't talk anymore. I mean, they're really tiny, so they will be working for small jump rings, but not for bigger ones like that. And for this, I use this that you can also purchase online. There are 3 different sizes. I've actually taped everything, put tape around this part not to mar the metal. Usually they come with a protective plastic thing. Don't throw it away, keep it. It's going to be really useful. So those are the 2 main tools I use if I need to make like a couple of jump rings, and then I have another method when I have to make more. So to go back to how to close it, basically you take your pliers. Those are not amazing, well, they're really good for the basic work, but if you're using wire that is above 1.5 millimeter thick, I would advise you strongly to get strong wire pliers that come, like you can pack, you know, a pair of 2. And it will be easier to have bigger pliers for bigger works, but for now this will do. So you just take both sides, both ends, and then the movement has to be, we don't want to make one thing overlap on the other going, you know, this way. We want to work in parallel and straight away, slowly, gradually make them meet with that, like de-shaping the round form of the jump ring. That's the goal here. So I'm taking both sides and slowly moving one side so they overlap, and I have enough resistance and enough tension in the cable, and here we go. And I know that it's good and it won't move. But the really important part here, you can also, if you want, kind of press a little bit to be sure it's well adjusted. And maybe it's a little bit too on the left right there. Especially if after you want to solder, you have to be sure that there's no blank in between. They really, both ends have to be really kind of touching one another. That's the most important. So there must not be kind of, you know, something in the middle or something. So it has to be really tight, really touch one another. And the best way to do this, like I showed you, you take the pliers and you go from front to back. Always. Never try to make them match by going sideways like that. Always work in parallel, and then, you know, from one side till it clack reaches. But that's the best way I found to be able to put jump rings, and with that, you know, changing the shape or making something that will not be sturdy enough. Right there I didn't do a really good job because when I cut it I did mar the metal. You might want to not do that because then you have to clean it up, but because I'm lazy I'm not going to clean it up. I'm just going to simply hide the ugly part in the other side. You're going to see how I'm going to do that. Up, ding, ding, ding. I'm going to just move it there and hop. We don't see it and it's all nice. So here we go. I don't know, like I was saying in the French section, if somebody that knows about stone and lithotherapy or something, with the person that gave it to me, that gifted me the stone, we didn't know if that was calcite or carnelian, and I thought it was more quartz with inclusions of calcite, so, or perhaps citrine. We didn't know. So if somebody that bumps into this video and knows, that would be really great to have more insight of what it is. Well, that's it for today. I've already talked a lot, but I just wanted to try first actual video in English, and I'll see you around for the other video. I don't know when. I also want to mention I do have a Facebook page, but I don't go on there very often. So if you want to send me inbox and have questions, go ahead, but I will only reply when I upload a new video on YouTube, and I'll try to have a schedule of one video per week if I can. And so yeah, I think I've said everything I wanted. I wish you a good day, and I'll see you around for another tutorial. Bye!